Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Tarot with Titania reading of the week for May 30th to June 6th, 2025. It's astonishing to me that we are already at the end of the fabulous month of May. If you're new here, you are most welcome. And if you're returning, it's lovely to have you here. Let's collect ourselves and bring our energies into alignment because your participation is what's helping to bring through these readings. So, with that, I invite you to close your eyes and let's take 3 nice deep breaths together. With that third exhale, I invite you to imagine a tree root coming down out of the base of your spine, going down deep into Mother Earth, like the trees that surround you wherever you are on this planet. Hopefully you have trees. Those roots are going down into the earth and grounding you here and now in this present moment, allowing you to be fully in that gorgeous human body of yours, and providing you with a conduit through which anything that no longer serves can easily pass down into Mother Earth and become compost for your new good growth. Creator, this is your daughter Titania, and I am here with all of your children now and in the future as we co-create this reading of the week for May 30th to June 6th, 2025. My intention is to be a clear channel for the information we most need to receive right now, and to provide this in a manner that we will easily and effortlessly hear, understand, integrate, and apply for our highest and greatest good, and that of all those we love, all those whose lives we touch, all life on this planet and this planet herself. We send our love out into the world, and by being here and co-creating, we are adding our love to those of others to make the world a better place. I'd like to invite my higher self and the higher selves of all those listening, as well as an overlighting angel of communication, to be present and facilitate this exchange, ensuring that it happens in the highest and best way possible, and that we cover all that is in our personal and our collective heart and mind at this time to our satisfaction in this window that we have together here today. I'd also like to invite the 4 archangels to come and hold the 4 directions around us, creating a sacred container of clarity, of wisdom, of healing, of insight, of peace, of transformation, of whatever is uppermost for us at this time may be held here in a good way. I invite Raphael to hold the east, Michael to hold the south, Gabriel to hold the west, and Uriel to hold the north. Thank you for coming. Anything that doesn't match these frequencies and intentions is welcome to go now. And with that, let's get started, shall we? Okay, Creator, what do we need to know this week so we can be our best? As always, we can continue our journey of evolution personally and add our good energy to the collective field of evolution so that we can bring through what we need to bring through and support each other in our best. What is important for this week of May 30th to June 6th, please, 2025? Okay, we're starting with the Devil. Always an exciting card to get, isn't it? Okay, so the Devil, this isn't Hollywood. This is Tarot with Titania. So we're not going down crazy routes of fear because that's what the devil is all about. And we have to understand that the devil is an illusion. The devil represents that aspect that we can cultivate and create, and which ultimately creates limitation in us. It holds us from expanding into our possibility space, from holding our power, from being all that we can be. This is sitting in the recent past position or the past position, which means we know this energy. We're familiar with it. In fact, we've been dancing with it now for a good long while. And it's important and relevant in our present and our future this week. So this energy of the devil. Now, in some decks, the devil is portrayed as a mask. The face of the devil is a mask, and out from behind it is popping the face of an angel, indicating that it is for us. The fear, the concern, the worry, the uncertainty, the obsessiveness with the material, that's all part of that quality of the devil. And so this is reminding us that we are so much more. And I think we all know that. And certainly those of us who are tuned in here every week, we have a belief that we are more than just these beautiful human bodies that we've come to inhabit for a very short time. Precious and beautiful time, but it's not forever. We do this for an experience. We grow, we expand, we become more than we were, and then we move on to the next experience. And yet we have experiences while we're here, experiences of limitation, experiences of belief, of doubt, of uncertainty, of fear. And it's very normal and natural to have that in a human body. And we're so much more than that. So just remembering, when in your own life have you overcome the devil? When have you overcome this experience of believing that this is all there is and there isn't any more? That's another portrayal of the devil. Often has their hand up with Saturn, the sign of limitation, on the palm of the hand, facing and saying, stop, go no further. This is all there is, this materiality, this human bodiness, materialistic, three-dimensional reality, when really there is so much more. And if we allow ourselves to be stopped, then we will never achieve the expansion that we're here to achieve. And it also keeps us in that fear state, believing in that limitation. Because when we understand there's so much more, then we expand beyond the limitations of that narrow little belief. So this is informing us this week going forward, sort of this energy, this familiarity with this limitation. And, limitation also has its purpose. We feel more comfortable often when we have a boundary, when we know that the parameters are. I mean, certainly children do. As a parent, our role is to create healthy boundaries for our children that will adjust and expand as they are ready to take the next step, as they are ready to grow and become more than they were. And so understanding that limitation is not necessarily a bad thing, it simply becomes a container, but we need to design the container with intention. Understanding, how can we serve ourselves better? How do we set ourselves up for success? How do we create a limitation or a container that doesn't stop us from achieving all that we are, but that holds us securely and positively and responsively, so we can become all that we're here to become. We can do all that we need to do, but we're still okay. Because we do have human bodies, and these human bodies need to be cared for. And so, again, this idea of it's all for us. Everything is for us, even when it is a perceived negative. We may not have the capacity or the bandwidth or the expanded consciousness to understand how its role will unfold in a good way for us, but that's okay. We don't necessarily need to understand it just now. We need to respond to what's in our field and stay in that broader, wiser part of us to the best of our ability so we can respond to life rather than react. Okay, so this is where we're starting this week. The amazing energy of the devil. The Princess of Hearts is the present card. And of course, my deck has princesses. Other decks have pages. It's the same energy. It's this idea of new beginnings, and new beginnings in the level of the heart. And it's kind of funny because I felt like I needed to have pink today, which is, of course, the color of the heart and the color of love. And it's a little softer, a little bit traditionally more feminine. But that quality of that nurturing, feminine, maternal, more yin than yang energy. So this card is talking about new beginnings on the level of the heart, opening, deepening into our heart, becoming more connected to ourselves and to others. This is ongoing. We are dropping more into the heart. We are becoming more connected to the feminine energy collectively. This is part of the evolution of humanity. We've had a long time where the mind has been dominant, and that's been an amazing thing for humanity's experience. But we need to come back to the heart and have those parts of us working together harmoniously, understanding that one doesn't dominate the other, but that they all have their role and they all have their place. And that by increasing our intuition, by increasing our ability to drop into our heart and respond to the life around us from a heart-centered place, we're actually becoming more connected to life all around us, not separate from. The mind tends to separate us from. It's a critical, analytical, rational sort of state that tends to create separation. And that separation is a more masculine kind of quality, or what we've termed masculine in our society. And it's again, it all serves us. We understand ourselves better by having a bit of objectivity, by looking at things a little bit more critically, a little bit more analytically. As I said, it all serves us. The design really is truly quite beautiful and perfect. And so this card is just reminding us new beginnings. That continues, this unfolding of the heart, the deepening of our connection to the heart, being in our hearts, responding to life from our hearts, feeling more. And that is not always comfortable because of our perception of things, but it doesn't mean that it isn't serving us or for us. And so as we go forward this week, there's going to be more of the heart involved. There's going to be more feeling involved. And to the best of your ability, breathe into that. Get into the heart. Get into your inner being. Be with yourself. Be kind to you if you don't respond in exactly the way you would like to, because we often do fall down as our human limitations. We don't have that lovely, gorgeous, broader, wiser, kinder, magnanimous perspective as much as we would like to. We do respond in a human way from our insecurities, from our fears. I mean, that's part of what makes us human and gives us the foibles and the character that we have, the parameters, you could say, of our humanness. But it's also what makes us lovable. It's also what makes this experience the gift that it is. We didn't have those foibles and those wacky bits, we wouldn't be having the unique human experience that we're having. So in a way, it is perfect. And so embracing the self from that place, this kinder, more understanding, compassionate place for ourselves. And when we hold that for ourselves, we also look out into the world with that lens of kindness and compassion, and we see that everyone else is just as human as we are in their current iteration, at any rate. And they too have their limitations and shortcomings. And as much as we would like everyone to be superhuman and perfect, we're not. And that's perfect and beautiful and unique and special. And that lack of perfection too is also part of this incredible interaction that we're all engaged in as we experience our uniqueness in this iteration of life. I encounter you, we have an interaction, and I ping off you and you ping off me. Maybe we get really excited together. Maybe I piss you off. And it's all okay because we're supporting each other in our growth. We're supporting each other in becoming more. Now, I'm not saying that you should abandon your morals and your guidelines and be a heathen. No, I'm not saying that. Okay, that may be the wrong word to use, heathen here, but I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is understanding, cutting ourselves some slack, appreciating the fact that we are cooperative components in each other's experience as much as others are that in ours. And when we are triggered or pushed or boundaries are transgressed, that sort of thing, we have an opportunity to learn about ourselves and to grow and to make a different decision or have a different response, but it's our opportunity to respond to the life that we're going through. And it's all for us. And so really nobody else is a horrible, terrible person. They're just doing their life. They're just doing their experience, and we're responding the way we're responding because we've called it in for whatever reason so that we can change, we can grow, we can have an experience. And I know this gets very muddy and very dark if you go and explore the fringes. And that's hard for us to understand as humans, that we would go there, that we would have that experience, that people could do those horrible, horrible things to other human beings. And that comes from deep ignorance, that deep misunderstanding of the role that we play for each other. When we come from a place that our actions have an impact, we're far more careful about how we be in the world. And we come from a more intentional place, understanding that we are all one, and what we do to another, we do to ourselves. That changes how life is experienced. And that's a lot of chatter to say that's where we are. That's where we're coming to. We're coming deeper into the heart, deeper into the feeling space, deeper into sensitivity, deeper into understanding that connection to everything else that is out there, including each other. Okay, the near future, we have more hearts, more of the heart level. 6 of Hearts, the card is joy. This is a beautiful card of 3 children. It's a sunny day. There's this gorgeous rose at the bottom. They're enjoying their experience. They're carrying the little one between them. They're having a lot of fun. It's simple. It's pleasurable. It's rich. It's that gorgeous energy that I think we all long for. This is what we're moving towards. As we understand the illusion and the role that it plays in our evolution, and we drop into our hearts more and become more sensitive, we will find ourselves in a new place with each other and with life, enjoying life more, enjoying each other more, seeking to have more satisfying and fulfilling and joyful interactions with others. And again, it's not going to be perfect right away. Nobody's going to flick a switch and we'll all have it figured out, because that's not what being human is about. But this creates this opportunity for us to live from a more spontaneous, joyful, heart-centered place, and to have more joy, to have more fulfillment, to have more satisfaction, because we feel more. And from that feeling place, we make different decisions, because we would never willingly go out there to do something to hurt another human being, especially when we feel it as deeply as we're coming to feel things. Okay, foundation card. Oh, look at that. We have more hearts. Really, the pink thing was on this week. The King of Hearts. And so that is an interesting indicator right there, because of course the heart's the water element that tends to be more, again, associated with what we've called feminine. And we have the masculine aspect of the feminine here, because it's the king, not the queen. And the king creates healthy boundaries. He is a rational, logical, practical individual who is able to set healthy boundaries in a way that is nurturing and supportive and allows that which he loves to flourish, including himself. This is why we're having the reading this week. What healthy boundaries do we need to have in place so that we can flourish, so that we can open our hearts, so that we can have more joy, so that we can transcend the fear of the outer world and the misperception of those limitations, coming back to our hearts, coming back to our wisdom, coming back to our understanding, so we can be the powerful individuals we're here to be in our own experience and in the experience of those whose lives we touch. Because we have a choice. We have a choice about who we be and how we be. And by striving to be heart-centered and approach life from that place, we have this incredible opportunity to discover life in a new way and have a deeper, again, more satisfying connections with those around us. So it's really quite a lovely reading this week. Starting off with sort of that perception of the intensity. But when we come from this place, a broader, wiser distinction that it's all for us, we can relax and say, okay, that's the outer world is a reflection of what's in me. So what's happening in the outer world that I'm perceiving is a match to what's happening in my own field. And that is educational, because we can stop and go, why am I creating conflict? Why am I pulling in resistance? Why am I pulling in doubt? Why am I pulling in fear? What's going on inside of myself? And when we love ourselves enough to create healthy parameters, so that's self-care and a healthy life, so that we are at our best, we respond to life very, very differently when our cup is full, when we've taken care of ourselves. So this is what this card is about, this foundation card for this week, the King of Hearts. Yes, listen to your heart and use that beautiful mind, use the rational, practical understanding of who you are to set some things in place so that you can stay heart-centered and open and happy and thrive and connect with others. And some examples of what that might look like. Well, how about a proper bedtime, right? It's a simple one, but getting enough sleep is really important. When we sleep, our bodies heal and our minds process the day, and we're able to make sense of things, and we have insights that drop in. It's a very, very important thing for us as humans to get good sleep. If not for anything else than just the fact that, yes, our bodies heal when we rest deeply. So an example of that would be to have better sleep hygiene. Going to bed maybe at a better time every night, or an earlier time, or maybe retiring to bed early, turning off the screens. That's a really big thing, because the blue light from our screen stimulates daylight, and it makes our bodies think that it's still daytime, and it keeps us awake. So maybe turning off those screens earlier in the night. Getting to bed early, maybe with a book, not on a screen, a real book. But that's just an example of how we could take care of ourselves, how the king could be represented, this sort of creating a healthy boundary, a healthy parameter, a healthy way of being, so that we can show up more and have more of the good that we're looking for, because it all works together. It's amazingly beautiful. So I'm kind of basking in this pink thing and wanting to hang out, but let's move on to the card to grow on. My husband's just coming in here, so he may be a little noisy. I didn't tell him that I was recording. Okay, Creator, what is our card to grow on for this coming week? For our personal and our collective highest and greatest good, understanding this heartfelt new place that we're coming to, this expansion on the heart level, and as well, this practical understanding of this energy and how we implement it in our experience. Be helpful for us to take away this week and carry with us in our hearts, so we can be in alignment with this energy. Sorry. Our pruning card, it's back. The Ace of Swords, the Force card. So what do we need to know? This is a time of cleaning up. It's a time of releasing what no longer serves us. It's a time of pruning our tree of life, so that light and air can freely circulate through the branches, and your tree of life can bear flowers and fruit and come into its fullness. That's what this card is about. So our card to grow on this week is this continuous awareness of ourselves, of what no longer serves us, of letting things go, freeing up our bandwidth, freeing up our energy, freeing up our awareness, so that we can take the action we need to take for our good. So our card to grow on is our pruning card. Keep pruning that life. Keep bringing intention to your experience and the parts that maybe are no longer resonating, no longer relevant. Maybe take a few loads down to the goodwill of things that are no longer serving your experience on a physical level, but also understanding that this is on the mental, emotional, and spiritual levels as well. Just cleaning it up. Letting go, maybe letting go of some resentment, letting go of some old beliefs that are no longer serving, that are getting in the way of your heart opening. And you'll know what those are. And it doesn't have to be complicated. Just notice and be a little kinder to yourself and say, yeah, I'm doing that very human thing, and I want to do something different. And it's time. And if you need help, call in the broader, wiser part of you. Call in your guardian angels, those people, beings, energies, those who love you on the other side, and ask for help, because we don't have to do this all alone. We don't have to muscle through. We can ask for insight. We can ask for inspiration. We can ask for support. We can ask for signs. We can ask for whatever we need. And those who love us and support us are delighted to step through and bring us what we need. And that's those little miracles, those little God winks, those little serendipitous experiences of opening the book to exactly the right passage, or finding exactly what you were looking for. Somebody telling you what you needed to hear. It's all this incredibly beautifully woven tapestry of life. And this is our engagement with it, doing it with love and intention, freeing up our bandwidth and energy, because when we keep it clean and clear and light, we can adjust and adapt. We can respond. We don't have a whole lot of momentum behind us. We can turn on a dime. We can really be present in the moment and respond. So this will mean different things to different people, because we are each individuals, but it will serve ultimately each of our good this week to keep in mind the pruning of our tree of life. And with that, let's wrap up this reading for this week. Nice deep breath in. Coming back to that beautiful body with every breath you take. And that's beautiful magic in and of itself. The fact that the breath, the inspiration is what connects us to this gorgeous body. And the body is the compass. It knows its yes, it knows its no, it knows its discomfort, it knows its well-being. But we can't know that if we're wandering around in the mind and not connected to the body. So use the breath to come home. Creator, this is your daughter Titania. Thank you for this opportunity to once again do this reading of the week in service to our personal and our collective highest and greatest good. I want to thank all those who are walking with us, all those who are holding space. I am so grateful for this opportunity to be embodied on earth at this time, helping to co-create this beautiful new world that we in our hearts know is possible. Help us to tune into that a little bit more and to bring that heaven on earth into being, transcending the fear and the doubt and the limitation and the uncertainty, understanding that somehow that all serves us. And rather than being distracted by that, we will focus on showing up with love and compassion and kindness, first to ourselves and to all those around us, so there can be more joy. And showing ourselves enough love to have healthy boundaries, to have healthy parameters, so that we can be nourished and rested and happy and healthy within ourselves, because when we're there, boy, do we show up differently than when we're tired and strung out and stressed. So I call upon the energies of this week, all that gorgeous heart energy, that tuning into ourselves from that broader, wiser place, that kindness and that compassion, that understanding, so that we can co-create something magnificent as we move forward, coming home to ourselves, caring for ourselves so that we are at our best, and in turn shining our light gorgeously out into the world for the good of ourselves and all those who need it. Thank you for being here once again this week and adding your energy to mine, because these reasons are not possible without all of us agreeing to make it so. So thank you for being here. If you're interested, I am available for personal one-on-one readings. The information is below. And I wish you a beautiful end to the month of May and a fantastic start to the month of June, wherever you are on this gorgeous planet. Much love and light. And I'll look forward to seeing you next Friday. Take care for now. Bye-bye.